Hello artists, how are you today? Stephanie Aune coming to you from the banks of the Trinity River here in Six Rivers National Forest near Willow Creek, California. Oz and I welcome you to the studio. We are very happy that you are here with us today. In this week's edition of Fred and Gertie's house, we painted the tree. Look at how cool that ended up being. So that's why I took all the time with all of that detail, so that once I put in the inks, which I used mainly distress ink and distress sprays in order to paint this, also did use some shimmer and some antique bronze distress spray stain. Those words sometimes get hard to say. Anyways, I'm ecstatic with how it has turned out, and I am looking forward to finishing this up, and hopefully that'll be next week's project. We will get all of the sky painted, get all of those fine details in. It should be really gorgeous. We're almost there. It's getting closer every week. I know it's taken a long time, but you know, it's pretty spectacular, so you would expect for it to take a while. And I'm just so happy with the way that it's turned out. It's kind of surprising, to be honest. It's like, wow, you know, what you can do when you really put your heart into a piece of artwork. Pretty cool. I do want to give a shout out to my Patreons since it is Saturday. Masterclass does come out on Saturdays, and then for YouTube, Creating Your First Altered Book comes out on Wednesdays. We have our daily Build a Doodle. And then for our Patreons, we have added the $25 tier on top of the $10 tier. Both tiers receive the same content. I'm not going to exclude somebody who is paying for the content just because of the amount of money that they're paying. What you do receive if you are in that $25 tier, though, is you do receive a t-shirt from me, and those will be coming out in sometime in mid-August, and that's with your second month pledge, and then with your first month pledge you do get a piece of artwork from me, just a small piece of small art, and then monthly you also receive a piece of artwork from me. Yes, lots of free stuff, plus all of the research, all of the information that I give you guys. There's a lot of bonuses, benefits to Patreon, and I hope you will jump on over to the channel to check it out. And I do want to give that special thanks to those of you who do help to fund these videos for everybody else. Your pledges, they do mean a lot, and every little bit adds up, and thank you so much for being here. Those of you that can't join under Patreon, I do completely understand. On the other hand, if you do have the ability and you like to watch my videos, your support would be greatly appreciated. It starts to get tongue-tied. Okay, that's enough blah, blah, blah. Here's the video. We'll chat soon. Bye. Oz, what are you doing under the desk? Oz. What are you doing under the desk? I'm not playing ball. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'll get it for you, though. Hello artists. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are going to try to paint the tree, and Hold on here just a second. What Oz? You're just fine. What I have is some Distress Ink Ground Espresso. This is a Tim Holtz Ranger product. I believe this is an ink refill. And I'm going to take a stiff bristle brush here. Now I want something that's going to be pretty liquid. I'm just trying to make sure here. Because I want it, we don't want something that is that big. I do want stiff bristle, but I want it to be thin enough to where I can just get into those spots. Now, I think I'll need to dilute this a little bit. Yeah. I want it to flow into these creaks and crevices. So the reason why I'm not using an acrylic paint, well, maybe this isn't the right thing to use. Yeah, let's see here. It's going to take a little bit to find the right product to use here. So it absorbs right into this paper clay. It's super dark right there, isn't it? Let's see if we can't absorb some of that off of there. All right, I'm going to put my padding underneath of here. I don't know the best medium to paint this. Now, these are honestly actually a little bit more gray than brown, so I should probably be adding in some gray. Let's look at that real quick. Here's some Hickory Smoke Distress Spray. I'm not going to do that. Oh, that's a pretty color. So do you see why I took so long to carve out that tree? Okay, this is Antique Bronze Distress Spray Stain. So from seeing these, I know that they have kind of this really grayish tone, very ancient looking. They're not bright brown. They're kind of a, think about tattered buildings that are, you know, along the ocean. They get hit by the winds. We are just adding this to the top. To the top of things. We're not putting it really down into the bottom crooks and crannies. I'm just putting it on top because it'll give it even more dimension. Now we're not looking for full coverage because the more of the white that you have showing, the better. But I really am loving how this looks. So we're just going to keep up with that. Hello. That is pretty darn amazing. I love it when a plan comes together. Plus, it also does kind of take down that real starkness of the darker colors. It definitely brings our mixed media into the mix. That glow right there is gorgeous. I must have more of the shimmer on there. See if there's any more little parts that I have to get up in there. Back in here. Anywhere else that the brown will be showing. I think that's pretty cool. We're gonna leave that right there for now until we get the green done. Now I know that I have this, you know, we'll go back through it and this will all get painted again. The background has to be repainted. That's a given. right, artists, here it is, Fred and Gertie's house with the tree that is now painted. It will still get a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part, oh, I like that better. I'm just kind of pulling out that little bit of shininess there, just showing where the sun is catching the individual needles is what I'm going for. This will still take a little bit more tweaking. Next week, we will finish it up by definitely going in here and fixing up some of these spots, bringing in our sky color again, putting on the final layer for everything, softening it down a little bit again, fixing up our shoreline. Still would be nice to have something right here. Not sure what that would be. Has to be something really thin though. We wouldn't want to put in anything here that would put more pressure on this spine. But, oh, what are you doing? You know, this has fabric in it, so this shouldn't go anywhere. I think we're okay. I'm just gonna have to repaint it in there. Not feeling super comfortable about that, but you know, it just is what it is. Okay guys, I hope you love Fred and Gertie's house. I think the tree turned out incredible. I really do. Again, it was a mix of blues and yellow greens, with a little bit of gray thrown in there. All right guys, I hope you have a great day. We'll chat soon.